Hello everyone, my name is Supawade Kerdchan-at. Today I would like to present the summary of Around the World in 80 Days. What's Around the World in 80 Days? If you want to know, I will tell you later. But now, may I introduce about main character? Let's to see together.
There are four main characters in this story. First of all, Phyllis Frog. Frog is the main character, a mysterious and rich man of 40, tall and handsome with light hair and whiskers. He is never perturbed by any event. A gentleman of the Reform Club of London, who is interested in science and wit. Next, Jean Passepartout. Passepartout is a French servant for hire before they leave London. He is about 30 and single, with multiple past occupations, such as acrobat, gymnast, valet, fireman. The other character is Detective Fix. Mr. Fix is detective from Scotland Yard, who believes Frog is the lover of the Bank of England and follows him around the world. And the last one, Aouda. Aouda is the Parsi princess. She is a daughter of a Bombay merchant, and because she is light-skinned and had an English education, she can pass for European. Summary of the story. The story starts in London on October 1, 1822. Phyllis Fogg is a rich English gentleman and bachelor living in solitude at number 7, selling Lord Burlington Grant. Despite his wealth, which is £40,000, Mr. Fox, whose car's name is described and reported in action, live a modest life with habits carried out with mathematical precision. Very little can be said about Mr. Frog's social life other than that he is a member of a reform club, having dismissed his former valet, James Porter, showering water at 84 degrees Fahrenheit instead of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Mr. Frog hired a Frenchman by the name of Jean Passepartout, who is about 30 years old, as a replacement. Later on that day, in the Reform Club, Frog gets involved in an argument over an article in the Daily Telegraph stating that with the opening of a new railway station in India, it is now possible to travel around the world in 80 days. He accepts a wager of £20 from his fellow club member, which he will receive if he makes it around the world in 80 days. Accompanied by Monsieur Passepartout, he leaves London by 10 and 8:45 on October 2, 1872, and he is due back at the Reform Club at some time 80 days later, on December 21. Frog and Passepartout rescued in triumph. While disembarking in Egypt, they are watched by a Scotland Yard detective named Fix, who has been dispatched from London in search of a bank robber. Because Fogg happened to answer the description of the bank robber, Fix mistakes Fogg for the criminal, since he cannot secure a warrant in the time. Fix on the boat steamer conveying the traveler to Bombay. During the voyage, Fix became acquainted with Passepartout without revealing his purpose. On the voyage, Fogg promised the engineer a large reward if he gets them to Bombay early. The dock 2 days ahead of schedule. After reaching India, the train changed from Bombay to Calcutta. About halfway there, Fogg learned that the Daily Telegraph newspaper article was wrong. The railroad ended at Carbide and started again 50 miles further on at Allahabad. Fogg promptly buy an elephant hired a guide and started toward Allahabad. During the night, they came across a procession in which a young Indian woman, Aouda, is led to sanctuary to be satisfied by the protests of Sati. The next day by basement, since the young woman is drugged with the smoke of opium and hemp and is obviously not going voluntarily, the traveler decides to liquidate her. They follow the procession to Sid, where Passepartout carefully takes the place of Aouda, Decre's husband, on the funeral pyre, on which she is to be burned the next morning. During the ceremony, he then lights from the pyre, scaring out the priest, and carries the young woman away. Due to his incident, the two-day journey either are lost, but Fogg shows no sign to leave yet. The traveler then hastened on the catch the train at the next railway station, taking Aouda with them. At the Calcutta, they can finally board a steamer going to Hong Kong. Fix, who has quietly been following them, has Fogg and Passepartout alleged in Calcutta. However, the Jumble and Fix is Fogg to follow them to Hong Kong on the boat. He shows himself to Passepartout, who is delighted to meet again his travelling companion from the early voyage. In Hong Kong, it turns out that Aouda, distant relative, in whose care they has been planning to leave her, has moved, probably to Holland, so they decide to take her with them to Europe. Meanwhile, still without warrant, Fix sees Hong Kong as his last chance to allege on British soil. Around this time, Passepartout became convinced that Fix is a spy from the Reform Club, trying to see if Fogg is really going around the world. However, Fix confides in Passepartout, who does not believe a word and remains convinced that his mother is not a bank robber. To prevent Passepartout from informing his mother about premature departure of the next vessel, Fix gets Passepartout drunk and drags him in opium den. In his design, Passepartout still managed to catch the steamer to Yokohama, but neglected to inform Fogg. Fogg on the next day discovered that he has missed his connection. He goes to search of a vessel that will take him to Yokohama. He finds a pilot boat that takes him and Aouda to Shanghai, where they catch steamer to Yokohama. In Yokohama, they go on a search for Passepartout, believing that he may have alighted there on the original boat. They find him in a carcass, trying to earn the food for his homeward journey. Really, the four board a steamer taking them across the Pacific to San Francisco. Fix promised Passepartout that now, having left British soil, he will no longer try to delay Fogg's voyage. but later support him in get back in Britain as fast as possible to minimize the amount of his share of the stolen money that Frog can spend. In San Francisco, they get on the Trans-America, Trans-New York, encountering a number of obstacles. Along the way, a massive head of vision crossing the track, a falling suspension bridge, and most disastrously, the train is attacked and overcome by Sioux warriors. After he lost car and capturing the locomotive from the carriage, Passepartout is kidnapped by the Indians, but Fogley kills him after some American soldiers volunteer to help. They continue by one power sled over the snow valley to Omaha, where they get a train to New York. Once in New York, and having missed departure of that ship by 40 minutes, Fox starts looking for an alternative for the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. He finds a small steamboat destined for Bordeaux Lake. However, the captain of the boat refused to take the company to the Liverpool, whereupon Frog consented to be taken to Baltic for the price of £2,000 per passenger. On the voyage, they buy the crowd to Munich and Tarkat for Liverpool. A gentle hurricane wind and carrying on full steam all the time, the boat ran out of fuel after a day. Frogs buy the boat at a very high price from the captain, shutting him thereby, and had the crowd burn all the wood part to keep up the steam. The company alighted Queenstown in time to reach London, where at Liverpool before the deadline. However, once on British soil agent Fitzpatrick a violent and alleged Fox. A short time later, the misunderstanding is cleared up. The ex-school bank robber had been caught 3 days early. To respond to this Frog in a rare moment of impulse punched Vic, who immediately fell to the ground. However, Fogg had missed the train and returned to London 5 minutes late, assured that he had lost to Wagner. In his London heart the next day, he apologized to Uda for bringing her with him, since he now has to live in poverty, and can financially support her. Uda suddenly confessed that she loved him and asked him to marry her, which he gladly accepted. He called for Passepartout to notify the Levant. At the Levant, Passepartout learned that he is mistaken in the date, which he takes to be Sunday, but which actually is Saturday, because the party travelled each, the bride gaining a full day on their journey along the group, crossing the international deadline. He did not notice it after landing to North America, because the only parts of the trip had depended on vehicle. Departing less often than daily was the Atlantic crossing, and he had hired his old ship for that. Passepartout hurried back to Frog, who immediately set off for the reform camp. where he arrives just in time to win the wager. For Mary and Uda and their journey around the world is complete.
Thank you for your attention and I hope you enjoy with this video. Thank you.